Yeah, I'm removing it. Boop. There's a phone head over here. But you gotta use that. And we know that's a lie.
I don't care. My mom's probably doing it.
Is anyone watching it? Does it say? Nobody's watching. Wait, this is so funny to me.
President's house. It's like, yeah, I kind of need to see us so I can. Me and you are.
I know, right? Basically,
Yeah, the dollar.
all zero.
Hey, we got a few subscribers.
Did we
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, everyone. Yeah, at the end, it should be like subscribe. Do it. Do it. Shout out. Shout out.
Is this phone counting? I'm sorry, Aaron.
That's quite okay. I was planning on it. Showing.
This is there's this meeting world.
What's going on?
Blues.
Okay. Which big one? Which big one?
If people don't start entertaining me, I'm just gonna start reading jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already have my jokes for the day picked out.
Oh, we don't like it.
Yeah. Here, I can give you a different one. You notice? Just give you a taste over here. Okay. What do you call a small mother?
What is it?
What do you call a small mother?
What?
A mini mom.
Oh, like,
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes, I read it that way. That's the joke. What? Yeah, I know. That's what it's for. In case I'm bored. It's like 5 minutes.
Your entertainment.
Uh,
Hey, follow us on YouTube, everyone.
subscribe.
Subscribe.
like and subscribe.
If you aren't here for the meeting, watch it.
Right, Aaron.
All right.
I just checked Twitter.
Aaron,
doing?
It's like an everyday.
Aaron, here's the next one. How does a penguin feel that has it glues it together?
I like that one.
Oh my god, that was.
Anyone else have any good jokes over here? Anyone else have a good joke?
Oh.
I want to waste all my material. I only have a whole book.
But you see,
Yeah, let's get the comedian to start cracking some jokes.
Yeah.
You is interesting. The comedian.
Yeah.
I'm hearing he was interesting. I'm not hearing that this far.
He was kind of funny for me.
Yeah, it was funny.
I hit my head on the table.
yeah.
I have a bruise on the inside of my head.
Aaron wasn't.
Talk about the Ukrainian driving disorder.
Like, no one else has a joke.
You're like, let's do some math. The coast of Kiev.
Honestly, I think there's a disproportionate amount of jokes coming.
Yeah.
Sarah, crack a joke right now. What?
Yeah, you've already used that one.
Old joke.
New joke.
Right.
What?
That's not even worth the video. So we have 2 minutes.
What? I mean,
Yeah.
who's up first? I don't know. What's going on, guys?
Just watch my.
First, honorable mention.
I call to order the January 24th meeting of the Student Government Association. Please review your agendas while Adam does roll call.
Michaela Evans. Steve Levin. Levi Ekstrom.
Here.
Ari Bennett. Caitlin Egan. Nicholas Smith. Timothy Allen. Isabella Pateo. Haley Kane. Maggie Roberts. Constantine Pavlos. Here. Christopher Landon. Eric Hardy.
Here.
Ethan Haynes.
Here.
Lois Black.
Here.
Alexandria Melius. Daniel Lyons.
Here.
Lucas Bell.
Here.
Nick Colombo.
Here.
Sarah Harrington. Jack Gwendon.
Here.
Joseph Finia.
Here.
Angela Hayes.
Here.
Justin Wall. Here.
Are there any corrections to the December 6th minutes? Being none, the minutes are approved.
Now, if you present support, Aaron West.
Hello. I hope you all had a good break. And a good start to your semester. I just have some housekeeping stuff and some updates for you all, but really that's it. So first, some housekeeping. I accept the resignation of Logan Terenzi as Vice President of Student Life. I accept the resignation of Crystal Mills as Rep at Large, and I accept the resignation of Alana Downs as Rep at Large. And then I'm going to move to appoint Scott Doan as new hall rep for the remainder of the 2022-2023 academic year.
Seeing none. Motion passes.
No,
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
So regarding the Vice President Student Life position, we're going to be sending out an email to have interviews for that position. So please spread the word to gather interest. Or if you are interested yourself, please reach out to me with any questions. I'm probably going to include in the same email interviews for just generally vacant positions on SGA to see if students that are coming back from their break and want to get more involved would like to join us. So yeah, be on the lookout for that email. If you're on a committee that was under Vice President of Student Life and are having any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. I'm going to be trying in the next week to try to figure out everything going on under that. So yeah. And then some updates. Dan and I met with a working group on finding and implementing a commuter lounge on the academic side of campus, as we mentioned last semester. It looks like the space might not be ready until the fall semester or late spring semester, as it might take some time to find space and do all the proper procedures and channels for that. So there will be a survey going out to specifically commuters on what they would want in that space. But if you do have any suggestions, let me know. I know last semester, someone mentioned, I can't remember who mentioned printers and stuff like that. So that's on our list. But if you have any ideas, please let us know. Oh yes, another thing, I'm looking for a student rep for Fresh Check Day committee. Fresh Check Day happens, I can't remember the date or the month, honestly, but it happens later in the semester. It's basically a day for mental health advocacy, and I didn't really write something up for this because I forgot it. But basically, you'll be on the committee to try to get some cool events related to mental health awareness and such like that on this day. So if we have someone that's interested in that, the committee meets, I think Raven said once a month. But yeah, just let me know if you're interested. And then later in the semester, SGA usually volunteers for a lot of these for Fresh Check Day. So there will be probably something going out later to gather volunteers for the day itself. But yeah, please let me know if you're interested in that. Next week, our guest speaker is going to be Vice President Steve Taxar and possibly John Zacco and Bill Connor, as they'd like to discuss finalized fees for next academic year before they go and present to the Board of Trustees on February 2nd, I believe. So if you have any, so they'll be here next week. Think of any requests. The PowerPoint was sent to you in the email with the minutes for this week. So if you want to go look at that, there's probably going to be some changes. I'm pretty sure Dan sounded like there would be some changes before they present in front of the board. But yeah. And then if you do have any guest speakers that you're interested on campus and having to come down to SGA, please let me know sooner rather than later so I can reach out to them and schedule them earlier this semester. And then finally, my office hours for this semester are going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 1:30 to 3. That's all I got.
I think it would be beneficial if we had the director of study abroad program come down.
Okay.
That's a suggestion.
Oh. Thank you.
Vice President of Academic Life, Emily Flew.
Hello. Hope everybody had a restful break. I'm hours this semester are going to be Tuesday and Thursday from 11 to 12:30 and Wednesday from 1 to 2. And then also the South Lot Plus parking spaces are now being used. Those are the ones that we kind of came up with in parking control to give people with really early clinicals or student teaching or something like that a space closer to park. So if anyone here has one and has feedback or has heard feedback about them from people, please let me know so I can bring any useful information to the next parking.
Are there any comments, questions, or concerns for Emily? Michaela Evans?
I have those recommendations, but I just personally read an email about it. My morning did, and then she sent it to us, and I forgot to email, and then there was some non-language things that I couldn't use that. So I don't know if we, I don't know if that's you.
Yeah.
But just to figure out, email and why.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to just go out to everybody, so I'll ask them why.
Any further comments, questions, concerns for Emily? Seeing none, thank you. Academic Policy Committee, Dan Kirk.
Hello, everyone. The Academic Policies Committee did not meet on Friday during the common meeting time, but we held an emergency electronic vote on a proposal submitted by Registrar Monique Lopez to extend the agile period by 1 day, which was to today, due to outages with the rep registration system. A multitude of late night emails were sent back and forth between faculty members of the committee and myself on the merits of the proposal. Some faculty were concerned about catching students up on work with even more time to add or drop classes. In the end, the committee voted 17-1 in favor of the proposal, with 3 committee members not voting. AUC approved the proposal as submitted, and as you all know, you got the email saying that it was extended. We will also need a new member for APC, so if you're interested in participating, it's during the common meeting time, 140 to 255 in Wilson 109, first and third Fridays, so please let me know if you're interested in joining the Academic Policies Committee. Our next meeting is scheduled for Friday, February 3rd, during the common meeting time in Wilson 109, so should you have any questions, please let me know.
Any comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, thank you. Special Committee Reforming General Education, forward, Chris Lane.
Hello, so the Special Curriculum for Reforming General Education Committee SCORE met today, January 24th, between the common meeting times of 9:45 to 11 a.m. This is my first SCORE committee meeting as I've attended becoming a student rep. This meeting served as a welcome back meeting for the semester. SCORE is made up of 10 plus educators and department chairs from all departments on campus. In today's meeting, we talked about reshaping the FY24 Common Core for the incoming future classes. This will not affect anyone in this room and will start with the class of 2028 when they arrive on campus. The main topic of the day that we talked about was adding an advanced writing class in the humanities requirement. This discussion was talked about in length and the energy was split among half the representatives. On one hand, some educators thought this would be a good idea. On the other hand, some thought it would be a bad idea. We generally all agreed that this would not be a popular opinion among students who would have to take the FY24 Common Core and have to take 2 writing classes, 1 advanced and 1 composition 1 class. I suggested, while this may not be well liked, that maybe it would be beneficial for students who have more writing intensive majors, whether all or some majors who have to take this upper level writing class, learning advanced writing skills would nudge students in the right direction towards pursuing their majors and future careers. In the end, we decided to finish discussing this at Thursday's meeting. Tonight, I want to gauge the student government opinion and see what y'all think. Would this be a good or bad idea? SCORE is open to feedback and would love to receive feedback. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please reach out to me. If you need any further information, my email is clandon2075@westfield.ma.edu. You can reach me during my office hours, which are Fridays 1 to 2 in the SGA room. Thank you. Have a good day.
As I would encourage use of the upper level course, I know from earlier discussions with scores specific. So even in your major or first time, I think this is the important or something biology as well. That's it's really good to help it overwhelming. It's important that they also know how to and smaller property, and also using them as extended central resources. These are students, surprisingly, don't know how to do this. So making sure that resources are participating in that process.
I think it's important to input the second one, however, I think it should be the majors and not the Common Core itself, honestly. Because I think like some majors, frankly, aren't right as much as others are. So I think that'd be something that they leave out of the Common Core, but have discussions with both departments. Because it also puts a burden on the staff as a course. If they don't need it, or that's what the department decides, I'd rather go with the professor teaching your course. Adam Carpenter?
Yeah, I'd kind of echo the same thing. I know I'm an education major. That's kind of a very clean ship already in terms of how much time you have. To be very helpful not to have this, a little bit more wiggle room, I guess, because we have like a very regimented course, and if you mess up, you're done pretty much. So that would be very helpful if it wasn't necessarily forced into our, I guess.
Any further?
I agree. I think it should be major based, not the board education.
Any further? Seeing none, thank you, Chris. New England Council of Higher Education Nephew, Committee, Dan Kerr.
All right, hello everybody. I am pleased to report that after nearly 2 years of meticulous planning, evidence gathering, writing, and community engagement, the self-study report has been submitted to the New England Commission of Higher Education. This report, over 300 pages long, represents a combined effort by faculty, staff, students, and administrators to improve as a campus through 2030 and beyond, and will help to inform the next strategic plan. I do want to alert you that our NETCHI site visit is scheduled from Monday, March 6th through Wednesday, March 8th. Please be advised that there will be a student open forum at a time to be determined, and I encourage all students in the room and throughout our campus community to attend this session and to provide their frank and honest feedback to the visiting team. The SGA Executive Council will also have the opportunity to meet with the visiting team for about an hour as well per the draft schedule on the website. Should you have any questions, please let me know.
Seeing none, thank you.
Yep. And there we go. All right, so welcome to the halfway point of the fiscal year. I'm just going to be giving you some updates on what's been going on over winter break, what's been going on over past few weeks that I've been working on. So just a couple of things that we'll talk about. First, my meeting with VP Taxar. We'll talk about the commuter lounge, just briefly. Aaron touched on it a little bit more. The club fair, which we have coming up, I'm going to need some volunteers for, and we'll talk about that. The FY23 budget and the FY24 budget. So I had a meeting with Vice President Taxar. A few different items that we discussed. The first was the updated fee presentation that you will all be receiving next Tuesday. There is still an overall 3.5% increase in tuition fees. It may be adjusted slightly based on CPI, which is going down. He doesn't want to of course, raise the fees too much if CPI is going down. However, there is going to be a need to go up by about 3.5%, especially with dining at about 5%. Frenzo Hall, the anticipated open is still January of 2024. They're currently ordering furniture for the space. The reason it's January instead of this fall is because of technology and the supply chain with that. So there's Jean, unsung hero in the dining hall. Refugee and homeless housing, as Aaron mentioned. Dan Forster, the Vice President of Student Enrollment, Engagement, and Development. He is going to be the lead cabinet member in charge of this. So there has been a conversation, and Vice President Taxar alerted me to this, of potentially using underutilized residence hall spaces for homeless and refugee housing. So that is in discussion with the state. Salem State, as an example, has already signed on. So there will be more conversations on this. I know Aaron's going to want some feedback on this as to what the student feedback is about having homeless and refugees and migrants on campus in underutilized residence halls. There's, of course, a conversation to continue to have. There's a long-range planning committee that President Thompson is looking to charge in the near future. So it's going to be looking toward, of course, as I mentioned before, 2030 and beyond. The idea that we need to stop looking just short-term, but more long-term in terms of increasing our enrollments, especially with finances as well. The commuter lounge, we're still waiting for a location from Maureen Soha. She'll get back to us by the end of February. We also have a to be determined design. It's going to be based on ideas that are generated and feedback received from commuter students. That survey will be going out this week, and any commuter students in here, please fill out that survey and encourage other commuter students to do the same. So the next meeting with Maria will be in late February, with several others. Alan was there as well, Maggie as well. So there was a lot of individuals in that room that we can rely upon to help. The SGA proposal writing will probably occur in March after we settle everything and get everything underway. Currently, myself, Laura, Aaron, Mia, who's our grad assistant for commuter life, and others may be able to help with this proposal writing process. If you have anything to contribute, please let me know. We'd be happy to include you in the conversation. The development of the space will occur later on this spring, likely, and into the summer based on how everything goes. Currently, under the Innovation Fund, we must expend everything by July 1st, which is the start of the next fiscal year. But we'll, of course, work with Maria on that. The Spring 2023 Club Fair, that's being held on Thursday. So that's the marketing for it on the right. So just how we'll operate and how we'll look this year. Outside of Duncan, we'll have a check-in for presents. So we have a president's event on it. We have a 4-digit code. We'll be able to check students in. We're gonna have a raffle for students to actually download the Presence app and the digital ID by Presence app. We'll have some raffle items. We'll include a WSU shirt, WSU mug with candy, 25 $, 25 $. So it's gonna be 4 different prizes for that. We'll have food that includes light catering from the DC of chicken tenders, a few other things as well, some popcorn also. We'll have SGA cab sale, NSO, the class of 2024 t-shirt sale, definitely out by Duncan, and then clubs and orgs throughout the space downstairs. The SGA room we'll be using for arts and crafts. So me and Laura were looking through the closet today on different items to use. Maybe a movie or a chill zone, but we looked through actually today at maybe a Wii set, if that's something we can look into and have this one. So volunteers will be needed. I was going to send an email this afternoon. I can send it later tonight with a spreadsheet just so you can sign up for where you're going to be. Just so we have people throughout the event. You don't have to stay for the full 3 hours. Most people, unfortunately, cannot stay for the full 3 hours because of classes. The reason we're doing it from 11 to 2 is so the commuters are able to go during the event. Since it's usually later, we want more commuters to be able to attend. So if you can stay for at least an hour, that would be great. We could use some help with setup and cleanup. The tables will be out there, but for anything to put out, we could use your help. Navigation, so where clubs are and helping clubs find their tables. The presence check-in, raffle, food if it's absolutely needed, and then the arts and crafts here, making sure that it's all smooth. I should include that. Budget. So the budget update. So we had an unexpected charge that was not originally budgeted, but we still have enough money to do everything that we need to this semester. It was just an unexpected charge. So we'll be closely monitoring our budget throughout the remainder of the year. Let's just keep that in mind, so that we are going to be keeping tabs on our finances and making sure that we are frugal with our money throughout the remainder of the year. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, so fringe assessment and payroll tax. I'm going to just a brief non-financial answer to this. So as you know, compensation for employees, you have your regular base salary plus fringe benefits. That includes health benefits, dental, retirement, terminal leave, et cetera. There's a calculation that the Comptroller of the Commonwealth does to calculate that. So currently it's about 40% on top, it's 40% of your salary. We did not anticipate that as part of our budget. So we'll have to see what happens with that next year as well, since we could be going up per the Comptroller when I was working there up to 58%. So that's one thing they're going to be working on in the budget process this year. And Steve's going to be working on that as well to see if that actually happens. But currently we had that unexpected fringe charge we didn't originally budget for. So we'll be making sure that is budgeted definitely for next year and we can work on that. So for budget planning for next year, we are looking at stable to possibly declining enrollments. We'll see how it goes next year. Definitely, it's going to be depending on what, we're gonna be getting information in March from the comptroller about fringe and payroll tax rates. So I mentioned before, going from 40 to 58%, that's a big increase that we might have to account for. And then also the implementation of new finance bylaws. So I mentioned that before break. That could include a new funding structure for clubs that's been talked about within finance committee. So just be mindful of that. Proposed timeline, sorry, Alan. So February administrative conversations. So I'll have conversations with Matt, with Laura and others just to make sure we have all our numbers correct. Further conversations in March and club meetings, especially with those that have recurring expenses like the Westfield Voice and others. What I will want to do with those club meetings is to actually get their transactions from Banner, which is our accounting system, to see what they actually spend their money on. Is giving away money and then not knowing where it goes could be problematic. If we're just giving $1,800 and it's only being used like $50. We want to make sure it's being used appropriately. And also we'll have finance committee review and SGA vote for a preliminary budget by April. And we'll move it over to a final budget for next fall. And that's it. So if there's any questions.
Just a quick question about that.
Mhm.
How many weeks? Yes, that's 35.
Yeah. So when I created the budget earlier this year, I was given an amount for salaries. I assumed it included fringe because I was looking at that amount and I assumed that it included fringe. So we found out in Banner when we were doing budget updates that there was that $35,000 charge. So that just came up. We are able to fund that. We still have enough money to offset everything. We had a lot of like administrative cost expenses that we have. We have some other funds that we will not be really utilizing this year. So thankfully, we do have the cash to support that.
I just want to give a point of information. Regarding that, we had a lot of new people coming to Wales with the retirement of our she handled a lot of that. So it was kind of a lot of new budgeting wise. So it was a mistake, but it's just trying to roll with the punches and figure out where we went wrong. Any further? Seeing none, thank you. Foundation report, Andrew.
All right, so hello again. So the foundation fundraising committee will be meeting this Thursday at 4 p.m. at 2 Broad Street in downtown Westfield. So that's right across from Tavern Restaurant. So I'll be at a committee meeting there. The fundraising committee is composed of alumni, community partners, and former VP of Student Affairs, Carlton Pinkren. We previously met on Thursday, December 19th via Zoom to discuss Give a Hoot Day, which is scheduled for March 22nd and 23rd. Potential challenges to host on that day: the Westfield State Golf Classic, Florida Golf Tournament, and alumni engagement trip, President Thompson's 1,000 People for 1,000 campaign, and the Interfaith Breakfast. I've offered feedback to the committee on engaging students through Give a Hoot Day. My idea was a high five or helping hands campaign whereby students are asked to give $5 to the student emergency funds and assist their fellow students with potential prizes such as WSU swag as an incentive. If simply 200 students give $5, we would provide the student emergency fund with $1,000. So that's very important if we are able to provide the student emergency fund with some funding with that. The next board of directors meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, February 22nd. Should you have any questions, please let me know.
Any comments, questions, or concerns for Dan?
They should open up soon, I believe. February, yeah, I believe is the timeline.
Any further? Seeing none, thank you. Vice President for Publicity, Elizabeth.
Hi guys, I hope you had a great break. This semester, I'm looking for new committee members, the Outlaw Committee and the Blue Key Committee. If you're interested in planning the spring dance or the award ceremony at the end of the semester, see me after this meeting. And the Senator of the Week is Caitlin Egan for her luggage drive. We are so proud of you for your efforts to help support people in the community through all your donations you and your class council have gathered. Good job, Katie, and keep up the good work, class of 2024.
Are there any comments, questions, or concerns for Elizabeth? Seeing none, thank you. Executive Secretary report.
All right, so just gonna give a preface. This was fully improvised.
I wrote this during the meeting. It was going to be an announcement, but it's not anymore. But first off, a quick reminder on how to report. You send me the report before 2 p.m. on Tuesdays, and because that just helps me to be prepared and know what's going to happen during the meeting. And also to use the form that's provided on Aaron's emails from the previous week's minutes. That's also just very helpful for just formatting reasons. Secondly, my office hours for the semester are Tuesdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and Wednesday from 2 p.m. to 5. But I'm here most of the time, honestly, so like just come by and I'll probably be here. And then lastly, the joke. What does a panda fry its bamboo in? Anyone? No. Bueller? A pan, duh. Nothing. It will be.
Thank you, Adam. Senior class council report, Michaela.
Hi everyone, welcome back. I accept the resignation of Ari Banish as a class of 2023 rep to SGA. Okay. I would also like to report on some things that our class council has been up to. We have planned our 100 Days to Commencement event, and it is scheduled for February 9th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Westfield River Brewing Company. We'll have food catered by the DC and are in the process of creating a playlist for the event. So if you have any requests, you can come to me after the meeting for song requests. We are advertising it this upcoming week. We are also in the process of planning Senior Week and selling class t-shirts, so stay tuned for more information.
Is there any new business? Seeing none, announce.
So my office hours are Monday 6 to 12, Tuesday 4 to 5, and Wednesday 10 to 11. Please feel free to stop by.
Rodney, Elizabeth. Caitlin Egan. Dan Curry.
Please volunteer.
Kayla Evans.
115 days of
Roll call.
Michaela Evans,
Yes.
Cade Levin, Levi Ekstrom, Caitlin Egan, Nicholas Smith, Smithy Allen, Isabel Casale, Haley Kane, Maggie Roberts, Constantine DeSapolo, Christopher Lane, Eric Hardy, Ethan Haynes, Lois Slack, Alexandria Elliott, Daniel Lyon, Lucas Attell, Nick Palumbo, Sarah Harrington, Jack Winden, Joseph Finia, Angela Hayes, Justin Wall, Scott Dunn.
If there's no additional business, I adjourn the meeting until January 31st.
Scott, how do you say it? I did?
Yeah.